Today we are doing graphic design. This is graphic composition. So we're gonna use different shapes and we're gonna place them differently. We're gonna use lines, circles, colors, stripes. So these are different elements that can be used in the graphic design. And today we're doing pretty much abstract thing. So it's easier. Let's say maybe some other time we can take a topic. We can like first take the painting's name. I don't know, city, for example, or and also some abstract name that you try to do the design for. But today, just kind of to get to know what is graphic design, how easy or hard it is. We're just gonna play around. So I suggest we all start with the letter. So the easiest, you take the first letter of your name. Let's say on this example, you can see there is letter R hidden. So then Alex can take A, Juliet can take J, Ellie E. Me and Ellie will be the same with E letter. And what you do, you place it anywhere. And the way like as you write, so you don't have to make it 3D now. And you can place it freely. You can place it big in the middle. You can place it small and a bit diagonal. So like wherever you feel, yeah, and just like writing as you would write. So no complex. So just any, yeah. So then Alex, you make the A, big, small. You choose how you want to do it. Yeah. Yeah, so we're starting just with the pencil, and later on we're gonna use the markers and nice. And once you have the letter, then easy, you kind of make it the 3D shape, maybe also different thicknesses somewhere, maybe, you know. So let's say we have kind of a base anchor point. And from this moment, everyone will go on way differently. And you can use circles, lines. So you try to create some interesting composition, but it's kind of a bit like you start playing a bit. Maybe you prolong some lines, some a bit, make some lines longer. Then maybe you change the direction and do some other line. So just like playing with geometrical forms that include circles, lines, and like interlapping them. So it's also very nice when they kind of we get some intersections, and then later we can also erase some lines, and then we get the new shapes. So the main, let's say, secret or the main idea in creating this kind of compositions is trying to follow the harmony, so the balance. And this is kind of the big word for artists, because kind of each artist tries to reach some kind of balance in its own artworks. So this is basically like a feeling, but the idea behind it is that all the different elements that you have, they all together look like in balance. They all look together nicely. Like there can be some accents, some repetitions, but generally, yeah, so no rush. Take a look around, what elements you have. So now we're creating shapes, and the stage after it we'll be also erasing some lines, so make it also the design a bit lighter. It's also always good, kind of getting new shapes. And then we're gonna decide. So some parts gonna stay white, just clean as a paper. Some parts we're gonna color black. Some of them gonna get the stripes. And the stripes is a kind of powerful element because you can make it, it's like a rhythm. And rhythm creates also a feeling. So it can be like a feeling of more, something quickly goes on, or like movement, or the opposite, maybe like some stability. So those lines are nice. And then we're gonna also work with color. We're gonna choose limited palette. So we're gonna use maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 colors to your taste to add like an accent in the... And you can make as complex as you want your artwork. So it can be more, let's say, minimalistic, can be more and also, like, if some lines you don't like, you can erase, correct. Yeah, no rush. We can give easily 10 more minutes or more to this playful part. Maybe you manage some kind of hide your letter. Yeah, so like by erasing some elements of your letter, it becomes kind of as part of the... Yeah, so generally graphic design is a really like wide word, and there are many things under the graphic design. So you can make all different images for commercial, or images like logos, some company images, maybe some presentation. So anything like visual things, yeah, the posters, and also the poster for the movie, for example. Maybe in school you have some also posters. It all includes in graphic design. So people actually, like, of course, go and study graphic design. And very often to enter the academy or like the school where you study, sometimes they ask for entrance exam, and then they ask to make a graphic composition. So they just want to check how well are you with materials, how well you use, and how accurate nicely you can make. And then, of course, that you understand such things like, yeah, composition, balance, color choice, yeah, and... Yeah. In some moments, some elements can start to remind you something. So we started just by placing geometrical shapes, but in some moments, maybe you recognize there is like an eye, you know, like in this work I have here at the on the right side, those the circles, and inside the circles, and then kind of and I said, okay, I'm gonna have 2 eyes like looking out. So it's not the aim to make some figurative parts. Yeah, figurative means that actually like represents something realistic, a house, a car, yeah, some object. But if it happens, like, you can use it. Yeah, you can use it also a bit smartly, that it kind of reminds it to the viewer. kind of knot. So also techniques that work well with the graphic design is repetition. So we take one object or one line and we can kind of repeat it. Yeah, so is in those lines, or general, like you take the circle and you move it step by step. Also proportions, making something bigger, making something smaller. So let's say I make bigger circle and then I make a smaller circle and have these also kind of balanced out. It's also important, let's say, not overdoing it. Yeah, as in all art that we do, there is like always the moment when it's too much. And especially still we're gonna add some stripes and colors. So and then also as you feel, if you feel comfortable making stripes first with a pencil, then go and choose. Let's check the Juliet's. Oh wow, that's kind of brave, and oh, I'm excited to see how it shapes out with colors and contours.
I'm done with the shapes and data.
Super, yes. Juliet is done, Alex is done. Ellie, what about you? How are your shapes?
Almost done. I need to do like.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time to finish. Let's check. Ooh, you girls went really brave and active. I like it. So girls went the opposite of mine. I kind of tried to keep the minimalism. Girls went a bit more active. That actually I like it. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna turn out with. Yeah, so Juliet and Alex, you can definitely kind of slowly move on. Yeah, everyone anyway on its own pace. Like first, let's say how you can start continue. You can take the black marker and do just some outlines. You don't have to do. Mhm.
Can I start coloring?
Yes, you can go with color also, definitely. So it's kind of jumping. You put color, then somewhere you put the contour, and then somewhere you invent some stripes. So it's really all kind of yeah, like any part that you feel is kind of calling your attention and you wanna do something there. So that's the place to go. And here, of course, try to keep it like clean. So these graphic designs, I mean, it can't be like paints and some artworks. It's actually fine when they are a bit messy, and like you see the brush strokes, and maybe background can be half abstract. But in graphic design, like you should try to make it, like clean, tidy. Then it shows also your professional capacity. Let's call it this way. And here comes a very interesting thing. So it's normal. We, let's say, can make some mistake or somewhere something went a bit, the line went not so straight. Somewhere got some dot or something. And here comes in your artistic capacity to go around those mistakes the way that kind of it feels it was the plan. So I would suggest you having this attitude. If something went not perfect, then you try to correct it the way, like maybe, okay, it went wrong. Okay, then I make the line just thicker, and maybe another line next to it also gonna be then thicker, so it looks like it's the part of the plan that it's yeah. And if you later tell me that you like this task, the next time we can do one more, but already then with some topic. Yeah, so now it's more free. But let's say you're given the task to create a graphic composition. I don't know, the topic is spring, or the topic is autumn, or the topic is, I don't know, some celebration in the city, and you have to make a poster for this. And then you can include also letters. Letters are actually also a strong visual element that we can include. So let's say for spring, I include S letter, and then I make some other elements around. And then, like for the viewer, maybe it's also easier to understand what it's meant, or some celebration, let's say. It's a poster for 4th of July. You place number 4. Also, maybe like we did today with the letter, a bit hidden, a bit part of the design. And when talking about the color, then again, try to keep the limited palette and looking at our well-known color wheel, then we remember. So we can either choose the opposite colors, so complementary ones. Yeah, so maybe I use somewhere orange and somewhere blue. Yeah, red and green, yellow and purple. Or like on this left side drawing, you use the colors that are standing close to each other. Yellow, orange, red. Or I take red, pink, and purple. Yeah, so kind of, or green and bluish, or light green and dark green. So the colors that are one next to another. Or basically, of course, you take your favorite color and so I've chosen a little bit of blue and a little bit of green in my composition. And now I want to do stripes somewhere. Stripes. And there are different ways how you can do stripes. So you can have the same distance between. So it's like two things. The stripe itself that can have different thickness, and the emptinesses between the stripes that can also go bigger and smaller. And then you choose either you do them kind of the same, so all along, or you can do a little bit like, so in this one is example. So I have a thicker black, but then the black goes thinner, and the white is the opposite. From more narrow, it goes to bigger. Yeah, so then you have this transformation of kind of. And there is one way, like one little trick, how I use the ruler to make the lines, let's say, all in with the same distance, but without like going previously with the ruler. So let's say now here I want to make stripes, but I don't want to go and let's say do the marking, yeah. And what I usually do, it works with the transparent rulers, since you have the marking here. And let's say I can use any distances here. So here are some lines, and I choose any that fits me best. And since it's kind of transparent, so I kind of place it so I can see, and then I place it, and then the next line I go again. So I remember yeah, and it works for making the same distance. And it also works when I want to go with this like distance that gets bigger or smaller. But then I just kind of have to remember which lines where I like the distance. And then again, so the big idea of this artwork, you think about the balance, the harmony. So if you feel something is like falling out, then you try to change it, add some lines or anything. So it kind of all the parts fit in as one whole. Yeah. So this united feeling is always more important rather than some detailing.
I'm done.
Wow, that was quick. So excited to check your artwork, Alex. You can definitely share it. Alex, you want to show your artwork?
Okay.
Okay, girls, take a look.
Right.
Yeah, no rush, no rush. The blurry background. Hey, that's a stylish one. I totally like it. And I like the color choice. It's like the blue gives lightness, but red gives nice strong accent. And all the shapes connected. Wow, well, Alex, you're a naturally born graphic designer. Yeah. My design appeared kind of, I don't know, boring, not boring, but kind of,
Simple.
yeah. It could have been more like the other one that I was doing here, it's more dynamic. It has some kind of, yes. Cool. We can, I mean, you can think of some topic and create, let's say, another artwork on some topic that maybe you like. Yeah, if you want, Alex, like while we're waiting for girls, if you wanna hang out, then you can take also a small one. What also is popular in graphic design, I'm gonna show you now, is that so that you use the limited space. So, and then it's also important how you place your artwork on the page. Yeah, so maybe I wanna my artwork to be, I don't know, 20 centimeters in square. So then I have to calculate. I have to know how big is my paper. Yeah, and then I know, okay, it's 297 millimeters, I think. And then I say, okay, I wanna 20 centimeters. So then kind of need to calculate the so my artwork is placed. And then let's say I do the square. So we go here and yeah, so it's 21. I go minus, I don't know how many I did here. I did 10. Okay, then I go 10 for 10. And then I have 11 centimeters left, and it's 5.5 then on the sides. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a little bit like already. So first placing your artwork inside the paper, and it's also always very important. So like first artwork, we went really loose, yeah, without any limitations. And now we have, so let's say, yeah, my first, yeah, so I've placed. And now I can, so let's do, Alex, quickly some artwork. Let's invent the topic. Any topic that comes into your mind. It can be, plane, like airplane.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's do. So we are doing some graphic design for airplane company. They've asked us. So we need to kind of make it stylish, so it doesn't have to be like definitely realistic. But maybe it could have some elements like clouds, element like maybe a part of the plane. So maybe it can have just the like the wing, since the wing is kind of yeah, and I can make it, let's say, the airplane. So I can make it my design big, so it kind of it is there, but like it's not the whole airplane there. Yeah, so something like this. So there is like, I don't know, the wing, and then I can have maybe some clouds elements. So maybe like then I can have maybe some smaller. And then we can also use the rhythm, so we can use the lines to create, let's say, the effect of the speed. So I can put like the lines are always fast. So something like, so I'm not just literally telling, but I'm giving something as the feeling of the sky, of the shape of the plane. Here create some clouds. Yeah, so kind of really quick sketch on the topic of the. So it's a very nice task also to kind of warm up your imagination and abilities. And now we can again use some coloring, yeah, and some accents. So maybe I color everything blue apart of the plane and the cloud. Let's try it. How will it look? Because like sometimes you do it and it doesn't look good. So it's always like a little bit of this testing moments. And then so I can use maybe just blue and black. So I use the blue for the background. And then I use black to do some lines. So I'm going to repeat some. Yeah. So this is like really basics of the graphic design. And yeah, it's a popular modern profession nowadays for people who have skills. Like for you, maybe it feels really easy because people who do art, like for them, graphic design is not very hard. But of course, you imagine that there are people who don't do art and they're not really in friends with brushes, pencils, markers, and so on. So those people will ask you as artists to create.
To do for them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it works in the professional world that okay, my marker is losing. Yeah, and now I use the black one just to repeat those lines to make the accent, so not to lose it. And of course, you do like usually, several options, and then you present your idea to people, and they choose the best one. So what's other feelings? Also, girls and Alex, like graphic design. Was it easy? Was it fun? Was it kind of
Easy and fun.
easy and fun? Okay, it's important. It's fun. And yeah, and then you can make it more complex by using more complex textures. Yeah, so like let's say here the most complex texture is stripes. But of course, you can use different. Maybe I'll take a look. I have it on the phone somewhere. Here, let's say you start using different textures for filling up the space. Yeah. So then it becomes more complex, and then that's the way how you kind of also work with graphic design by adding those different elements. Yeah. And like you practice your hand by doing this, and nice. Well, that was the introduction for graphic design. Alex, what would you like to do next time?
Something with markers.
Okay, you like markers. All right. We're gonna ask girls once they finish. Yeah, Alex, as you wish. You can, of course, hang out, wait for the girls to finish to see how they did. If you want to go, of course, you're free to go.
Half time.
Okay, good. Then, yeah, but girls, no rush. We can chat meanwhile. Yeah, mine was a disaster. So I think I went bad when I started doing some lines, and then I tried to kind of correct it, and I started doing squares, and like the start was nicer, and I went somewhere wrong in the middle. It happens. So this paper will go to recycling. Well, I'll stop the recording since we kind of more or less finished, but then just let's hang out